Carolina Panthers at the Philadelphia Eagles. It's Sunday at 1. Eagles favored by 12.5. Man, I mean, we've been raving about Bryce Young in recent weeks. Now going up against the 10-2 Eagles. The Eagles are as hot as any team in the NFL. And we've been talking about a collision course between the Eagles and the Lions. Can Bryce continue his success? 4 weeks in a row, he's played pretty well. I mean, can he do that again against a very good Eagles defense?
Yeah, I think the difficulty level for him has been ramping up in terms of the teams he's been facing. The Giants are not a terrible defense. The Chiefs are not they're a pretty good defense, not a great defense. And then Tampa Bay, okay, they struggle at times, but it's at least an unusual defense to face. Now you're facing a legitimate elite defense for the first time. So again, can he continue this upward trajectory? Which, again, has reached the point where it's no longer just good on a curve. It's just good, period. I mean, the last couple of weeks, he's been genuinely excellent as a quarterback and even better than the stats. And the stats have been pretty good for the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, can Bryce Young keep it going against a really, really good defense that can cause problems both up front, like Jalen Carter is nigh on unblockable when he wants to be. That pass rush can cause problems. And then the back end, which has been extremely good, really led by those two rookies.
Carolina, too, so they've been far more competitive. But everything you mentioned, I think Eagles' defensive line can have success. I don't know if Carolina can get any pressure. You know, we talk about Kansas City kind of playing. Kansas City's whole thing is wild because it's like Carolina got no pressure all year except against Kansas City. And it was like, are the Panthers, can they create pressure now? And like they didn't get much quick pressure against Baker Mayfield last week. Like they only did it against Kansas City. I don't know if Carolina's got, I mean, this feels like a big mismatch. Eagles offensive line, their whole offensive line against the Panthers defensive front. And it feels like one of those where maybe Carolina hangs in there and then the whole fourth quarter Saquon Barkley narrative takes over. Keep leaning on him. Like that's worked well in a lot of games.
Yeah.
Washington Thursday Night Football, the Rams, and then even last week against the Ravens. It's just back and forth, uneven offense from Philadelphia, and Saquon breaks off a big run. I think they have a chance to have a similar game flow in this one. I think the one difference is unless they can heat up Jalen Hurts a little bit, I think Carolina's done a decent job picking their spots as far as blitzing and heating up the quarterback. They're going to have to do that, I think, more and more against Hurts because he'll just sit back in the pocket, find A.J. Brown, and I don't think Carolina has much of a chance with just a pure four-man rush against the Eagles.
I definitely think it's going to be another Saquon MVP narrative game where they just dominate the second half. Carolina's defense is the worst defense in the NFL this year at yards before contact per attempt. They are just getting wrecked before contact. That's effectively the proxy for the blocking versus defensive line battle, right? The trench battle. So if the Eagles are able to do what they've done to a lot of good teams, good defenses, keep leaning on them, then the third and the fourth quarter, they just create those massive lanes. Saquon makes one move against a linebacker or safety, and he's off to the races for a touchdown. I mean, he could have another, $150, ice the game, make them go away by a couple of scores late and just dominate.
Intern Anthony over here, who gives us some notes every week and helps steer us in the right direction on some things, highlight some talking points here and there, gives some good insight for us. And sometimes he just puts something in our documentation here where he just wants to see the world burn.
Ah.
And so it's Anthony's fault here. I'm just merely the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
The Saquon Barkley could be in line to break the NFL rushing record against the Giants. In a year where some stuff's gone against the Giants.
Yeah.
Some narrative stuff has gone the opposite way for the Giants. Could you imagine? And first off, 17 asterisk. 17-game schedule. I'm putting you on notice counting stats.
If he doesn't
You're
break
getting
it
an
by
asterisk. It's a 17-game schedule.
If he doesn't break it by the 16th game, it doesn't count.
Yes.
In Steve's eyes.
That's correct. Because we're over here, this is amazing. Ashton Genty's going to break Barry Sanders' record in like 4 more games than Barry Sanders. Like, that matters. But could you imagine if Saquon Barkley breaks the rushing record against the Giants?
I just want to see the shots of sad John Mara if that happens. I mean, the dude was bummed at just the concept of losing Saquon Barkley ever at the time on Hard Knocks. Can you imagine him having to sit there, watch Saquon Barkley break the rushing record against his team? Would be phenomenal content.
Yeah.
Here for it.
That'd be something. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. 12.5. Does that feel like a lot? The Panthers are a far more competitive team right now. They were up losing overtime to the Bucs. Easily could have won that game. Almost beat the Chiefs a couple weeks ago. And again, I think to sum up Bryce Young, like, I don't know if he's going to become a star. I don't know if he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. All I know is he's playing competent NFL quarterback, and I didn't say there was no weaknesses. I said there's no limitations the other day. Right? What?
It's good clarification.
Yeah. I mean, there's no part of his game that's like throwing the ball down the field, throwing the ball on the run, in structure, outside of structure, running the ball when is needed. The guy's playing quarterback extremely well. And as you mentioned on the show, PFF big time throws, 9 over the last 2 weeks. No one has more.
Leads the NFL.
This is night and day, like the way he played earlier in the year.
In the last 2 weeks, the best graded quarterback in the NFL per PFF is Joe Burrow. The second best graded quarterback in the NFL is Bryce Young, and he has 4 more big-time throws than Joe Burrow, with the same number, which is 1, turnover-worthy plays.
Bryce Young, MVP.
I mean, in the last 2 weeks, it's like genuinely, Bryce Young has played top-level football in the last couple of weeks. Again, we took a lot of crap, and probably reasonably so, for being too positive with our praise, just signs of life. Hey, look, Bryce, this is better than it was when he got benched. Like, look at this throw. 1. Like, now it's genuinely just good. It's not good on a curve. It's not good for a guy that looked like ass early in his career. It's just good. He's been playing very well, but now you got to do it against one of the best defenses in the NFL. It is a big line. I do, however, think that it maybe ends up going that way in that sort of late, like the style of the Philadelphia-Washington game, right, where it's kind of close, it's tight, and then Philadelphia in the fourth quarter just hammers them with a couple of touchdown runs from Saquon. So I'm going to go with the Panthers to cover it, but I definitely can see it going that way.
My initial instinct was Philly. All the raving I've been doing about Bryce Young, and I don't know. I'll take the Eagles. Oh, so many points. Harry's going to take Carolina. Last thing I want to say about this, though, like this could be the most important game that determines what Carolina does in the draft. I think they're already maybe there where, okay, we're rolling in with year 3 of Bryce Young. If he at least holds his own against this Eagles defense the way they're playing, especially if he's getting rushed a ton, Jalen Carter and, in company.
I mean, I still think
this could be one. I mean, look, there's more games to be played, but if you do it against this type of defense, I think it's proven a lot.
Sure. I mean, it would be a big statement for him if he's able to play at the same level that he's played the last couple of weeks against the Eagles. I still think he needs to not drop off in the last few games of the season.
Sure.
And at least maintain a level somewhere around here. But yeah, this would be a huge statement. I mean, this is the best defense he's faced. So if he is able to play at that level, i.e., a top 10 level quarterback against the best defense he's faced, it's tough to argue against that. I mean, that's a legitimate signal that not only is he improved, he's good. Like because remember, like everybody is chasing not just can the guy start and not be an embarrassment. It's can he actually be a top level quarterback against everybody. This would be the first statement if he's able to do it this week that he's that caliber. He is who you thought he was. He is the guy that deserved to be taken at the top of the draft and can go up against the best defense in the NFL and play well.
And by the time we're playing this game, it could be the Eagles. Like if Detroit loses tonight on Thursday night, it could be the Eagles playing for the number 1 seed here.
The 1 seed
in this game.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.